Hello and welcome. This is CricIQ and this is the first of the semi-finals. A really big day here today and we have a truly transnational contest. People here from all over the globe, literally. First up, we have Danny Bhandari from Sydney. Danny, happy to be here?
Yes, very happy. Thanks for having me.
Yep, think you have a good chance?
Well, probably 40% I'd say.
40% is actually beating the odds, but 40% for two people qualifying is just about correct. So you've obviously done your calculations well. And next up, we have Gaurav Sundararaman from Chennai, who works with sports mechanics. Gaurav, having a name like Sundararaman, you think it's really useful in sport?
I don't think it has anything to do with this particular event. So hopefully I can get through well.
Super. I wish you the best of luck. And next up, we have Jagdeep from Dell, all the way from Sydney. Jagdeep, that's a terrific camera you have out there. Would you fancy your chances today?
Yeah, I think if camera is anything to go by, I've won already. But I think everybody is very knowledgeable. I think it depends a lot on how nice the quiz master is to me and gives me simpler questions.
Super. All the best, Jagdeep. At least you didn't tell anything like if you ask people like Azruddin, they'll talk about the best man winning. I'm glad I'm not hearing that today. Next up, Sarbajit all the way from Bengal. Are you happy that the Kolkata Knight Riders won, or you not the IPL types?
I'm happy, yes, obviously. At least a team from our city have won the IPL.
Okay. And finally, we have Venkatesh Srinivasan all the way from Bangalore. Brilliant quizzer himself, acclaimed quizmaster in his own right. Venkatesh, do you fancy your chances here today?
Well, I guess it's as good as it can be. So, just keeping fingers crossed and hoping that some nice half ones come my way. Let's see.
Super. So it's all set up for an amazing, the first of the semi-finals of CricIQ, the greatest test ever. Just to remind you once again, what's at stake? Winner takes all expenses paid trip to the first test match at Lord's in this series between India and England. And of course, even if you don't qualify, two people qualify from here. But even if you don't qualify, you're going to take home 15,000 rupees worth of card vouchers. So lots to play for. Let's go straight into our first round. So this is round one. It's called quick singles, as you all know. Each participant has to answer 3 questions within a time limit of 45 seconds. 10 points for correct answer. Questions based on different ESPN Cricinfo sections. As always, questions do not pass. Danny Bhandari, your chance with your 3 quick singles coming up now. Quote unquote. One day I was thinking, thank God Sehwag was not born in Bangladesh. If he was, he would have forgotten how to play cricket. Which current cricketer made this quote? Danny?
Virat Kohli.
Virat Kohli, incorrect. Next question, nicknames. Which Indian cricketer is nicknamed Monk by his teammates, apparently because of his affinity towards a brand of Indian dark rum?
Yusuf Pathan.
Not Yusuf Pathan. Yusuf Pathan doesn't drink. Rewind to 1979. Which player got out while attempting a 6th run of a single shot in a one-day international in 1979? I'll take the answer if you have one.
Randall.
Okay, sorry, tough set out here, but the answers were, thank God Sehwag was not born in Bangladesh. That was said by a Bangladesh cricket, obviously in frustration, Tamim Iqbal. The Indian player called Monk by his teammates because of his affinity towards dark rum was Murli Vijay. And the player who got out while attempting a 6th run of a single shot in an ODI was David Bairstow. Barely hit the shot, they'd already run 5 and they were then trying to run a 6th. Tough set here, but things have sort of warmed up a bit towards the semi-finals, so bad luck there. But Danny, lots of times to make up in the rest of the quiz. Gaurav, your set coming up now, and here's your first question. Must read books. Which Australian cricketer wrote the book Masters of Cricket from Trumper to May? Gaurav?
Pass. I can go to the next one.
Pass. Banger is the nickname of which England cricketer after his love for sausages?
I'll come back to that also. Next question.
Okay. B.B. Nimbalkar was 9 runs short of emulating then whose highest first-class score of 452 before the match ended prematurely?
Not sure, but the second question is despotic.
Correct.
And
I'll take
the
that.
first question could be, I think it's Arthur Maley.
Sorry, repeat that, please.
Arthur Maley.
It's not Arthur Maley. And your time is up. I'll take the second answer correct. Bangor is the nickname of Marcus Trescothick. The Australian cricketer who wrote the book Masters of Cricket was Jack Fingleton. And 452 was obviously Don Bradman's score. That was the score he was at. And of course, to break the record because the opposing captain conceded the match to oppose embarrassment. And of course, Nimbalkar also, there's another story that Nimbalkar had to go and get married. Whatever it is, there was an Indian cricketer out there who could have probably scored a 500 in those days. But didn't happen. Gaurav, you've got yourself 1 point out here, and we go all the way down back again to sunny Sydney, and it's Jagdeep, your turn now, and your set coming up. Interesting, your set starts now. Sachin was trying to look after his teammate and changed his story a couple of times to suit that. This was Ricky Ponting about a cricketing controversy. Who was Sachin Tendulkar's teammate that he was trying to protect?
Harbhajan Singh.
Harbhajan Singh is correct. Next question. Which captain of the England team went on to become governor of Bengal? Which captain of the English cricket team went on to become governor of Bengal?
Sorry, pass.
Last one, rewind. Which bowler destroyed England with a match haul of 9 for 70 in Donald Bradman's final test match? 9 for 17, Bradman's last test match. Great fast bowler.
Was it?
I'll take an answer if you have one.
Was it Betzer?
Did you say Alec Betzer?
Yes.
Betzer is on the wrong side. So you got Harbhajan Singh right, of course. The captain of the English cricket team who went to become governor of Bengal. You can see his name there at the Eden Gardens if you go there, Stanley Jackson. And the bowler who destroyed England with a match haul of 9 for 70 would obviously be an Englishman, would be an Australian. It was Rick Ball. Bad luck there. Slightly tough set here. People struggling a bit in the early overs. There's a bit of movement out there. And as I come from sunny Delhi right now, the temperatures are between VVS Lakshman's batting average and Sunil Gavaskar's batting average. So I'm really struggling. Sarbajit, I hope you can keep up with this heat. Your set is coming up now. Turning point. The ICC was known earlier as the Imperial Cricket Conference, which was founded in 1909. Its original 3 members were Australia, England, and which other country?
South Africa.
Correct. Mixed bag. Which former Test cricketer was India's ambassador to Holland from 1973 to his death in 1974?
I'll move on to the next question.
Okay. What first in cricket was achieved when Ali Naqvi and Azhar Mahmood scored centuries in the first innings of a Test match at Rawalpindi in 1997?
2 players scoring centuries on debut in the same innings.
Correct. So you've got 1 left if you want to go back. Test cricketer who was India's ambassador to Holland?
Vijayanagram, Maharaja Vijayanagram.
It's not the Maharaja of Vijayanagram. Good try there. You got the royalty right. It's Yadavendra Singh, Lieutenant General Yadavendra Singh, who is obviously the son of the Maharaja of Patiala. But you got 2 out of 3 there, and that's a creditable start in this because people are really struggling with the early pace out here on this pitch. And last up, we have Venkatesh coming up, and your set coming up now. Quote unquote, he hurt us when we played against him, so one way to stop him was to buy him and get rid of that headache. This was Stephen Fleming recently about which player?
David Hussey.
David Hussey is incorrect. Nicknames. England captain Michael Vaughan shares his nickname with which Thunderbirds character?
I'll come back to this.
You come back to that. Mixed bag. In cricket, who is the third person apart from Abdul Hafiz Kardar and Amir Elahi to have represented both India and Pakistan in Test matches?
Anil Dalpat.
Bad luck. Anil Dalpat was, I think, one of the first Hindu players to play. And I'll give you the answers right now. Or you've got one which you can come back to.
Can you repeat
England
the question?
captain Michael Vaughan shares. Sorry? You have an answer?
No, pass.
Venkatesh, really bad luck there. The Chennai Super Kings coach Stephen Fleming said about which player that the only way to stop him was to buy him. It wasn't David Hussey, it was actually Dwayne Smith. Bad luck. Yeah, I know it happens. It's one slip of the tongue that happens when you're really under pressure. England captain Michael Vaughan shares his name with which Thunderbirds character? Virgil, obviously. And the third person apart from Abdul Hafiz Kardar and Amir Elahi to have represented both India and Pakistan in Test matches is Gul Muhammad. Anil Dalpat, I think, was the first Hindu to play, and I know Venkatesh would have probably known both those answers, but it's one of those days. So don't worry about it. Lots of time left right now. Let's have a quick look at this first. So Venkatesh and Danny have yet to open their account. Gaurav and Jagdeep are on 10, but leading right now is our PhD student from Kolkata, Sarbajit Mitra. It's time for us to go straight into round 2. And this round is called Third Umpire. And here are the rules. 2 visuals will be shown on screen. Participants will have to answer 2 questions based on the visuals for 10 points each. If they get both correct, they get a bonus question worth another 10 points. Questions do not pass, 10 seconds per visual, and each participant, as always, gets a separate set of visuals. Danny, we start with you first, and here are your 2 visuals coming up now. Take a good look. Yeah, those are your 2 visuals. On your left, identify this great left-handed batsman on your left.
Graham Pollock.
Graham Pollock is absolutely correct. Just identify him.
On the right.
Yep.
Okay, did you describe him in any way?
No, opening batsman, that's all I said.
Sutcliffe.
Sorry?
Herbert Sutcliffe.
Brilliant! It is Herbert Sutcliffe. That was an inspired guess if it was a guess. Brilliant. You've got both correct, and I think you've done excellently for yourself out there. And here is your bonus question. You've got yourself 20 points. Here's your chance to make it 30. Apart from Pollock, Bradman and Sutcliffe, who's the only other batsman to average over 60 in Test cricket for a minimum of 20 Test matches? Obviously, 1 or 2 don't matter. But apart from Pollock, Bradman and Sutcliffe, who's the only other batsman to average over 60 in Test cricket for a minimum of 20 Test matches? Another great batsman, I can promise you that.
George Headley.
George Headley, and you've hit it for a 6. Brilliant. That's a 3-pointer there for you. 3 really good answers out there. Great, great comeback, Danny. That is a good set for you. We go straight on to you, Gaurav. Let's see how you do with your set. Gaurav, your set coming up now. Okay. Identify first on your left the great English all-rounder. Gaurav?
Yeah, I'm just trying. Can I try the other one, Vinu Mankad?
Okay, the great Indian cricketer is Vinu Mankad, but remember in this plot, questions don't pass, so you have to come back and answer this.
Okay, is it Wilfred Rhodes?
Lovely, Wilfred Rhodes and Vinu Mankad. Really well done there, Gaurav. And your bonus question. Again, you could go up, take 30 points from this as well. Wilfred Rhodes was the first for England, Vinu Mankad the first for India. Who is the first person in the world, though, to claim the double of 1,000 runs and 100 wickets in Test cricket? 1,000 runs, 100 wickets. Rhodes was the first for England, Mankad the first for India. Who was the first in the world?
First in the world?
Yeah.
Not sure. Is it Billy Midwinter?
It's not Billy Midwinter. Bad luck. It's George Giffen. Tough one there, but you got yourself 20 points, and I think you've done pretty well for yourself. We go on to you, Jagdeep, and your visuals coming up. Take a good look.
Okay. On the left.
Okay. Identify the batsman on your left. Great Indian batsman on your left.
Polly Umrigar.
That's not Polly Umrigar. And on your right, who's the famous Indian batsman on your right? Deep?
Nari Contractor.
Bad luck. That was Syed Mustaq Ali. That was Vijay Hazare and Syed Mustaq Ali. Bad luck there, Jagdeep. Slightly tough set for you, but anyway, lots more rounds to go. So we'll go straight on to you, Sarbajit. Your set coming up now. Have a look at the two cricketers. First, the cricketer on your left. The cricketer on your left.
Cricketer. Yes. On the right is Dennis Compton. On the right is Dennis Compton.
On the right is Dennis Compton. On your left is?
On your left is Arthur Milton.
No, it's not. Bad luck. It's Arnie Sidebottom. Tough one there. Bad luck, Sarbajit. I think once you've heard that, you would have understood what the question, bonus question could be about. But bad luck. That's Arnie Sidebottom, and next to him is Dennis Compton, as you got correctly. Good answer there. 10 points to you, but that's all you'll have to be content for with this one. Venkatesh, we go straight on to you. Have a look at the two players. The English cricketer on the left, and that beard is actually, if you watch 70s cricket, that's unmistakable.
Really?
Who's the player on your left?
Mike Brearley?
Mike Brearley is incorrect. And who is the English bowler on your right? Yes.
Derek Pringle.
Not Pringle, bad luck. Tough ones there. That's Mike Hendricks, who's a classic 70s medium pacer, you know, one of those typical English medium pacers like Chris Holt. And on your right is the left arm spinner Richard Illingworth. Bad luck there. Really, really tough set out here. And at the end of 2 rounds, it's been tough going for everyone. Let's have a look at the scores. So 2 really tough rounds in this first semi-final of CricIQ, and scoring is looking more like Courtney Walsh's batting average rather than the batting average from opening batsmen. Venkatesh is yet to score. On 10 points we have Jagdeep, but then tied on 30 each are Sarbajit, Gaurav and Danny Bhandari, all of whom have made a bit of a comeback. And the great news, of course, is the fact that anyone could still win it from here because it's extremely close. Okay? There's lots to play for as we go into our next round. It's a very popular round with the players. It's called Take the Challenge round. Let's see how it goes. Here are the slightly different. Each participant has to challenge another participant on a particular topic chosen from a grid. 2 questions per topic, one for the challenger and one for the challenge. 20 seconds to answer a question, 10 points for correct answer. The winner of a challenge gets a bonus of 10 points. If the challenge ends in a tie, that means both get it correct or both get it wrong, there's no bonus. Obviously, each topic can be chosen once and each participant once. Okay, we start with you, Danny. Your choice. Who do you want to challenge and on what subject? India versus West Indies, Botham, VVS versus Australia, Wankhede, 4th innings, Cricket of the Asian Games, the Doctor, English County Cricket, famous dismisses. Fascinating topics. Which one would you like?
I'll take both of them in Ashes, and I'll challenge Sarbajit.
Sarbajit on Botham and the Ashes. This is a big challenge out here. And Sarbajit, so we have your question coming up first, and then if you get it right or you don't get it right, then we see what happens with Danny. But Sarbajit, first up it's for you. Half consciously, me may have wanted to produce carnival cricket to match the flag-waving post-nuptial atmosphere of the day. This was Mike Brearley about England's opening day performance in an Ashes Test match, where Ian Botham produced one of his greatest bowling performances, 6 for 75. Which Test match is being referred to out here? And why? What is the reference?
Centenary Test match. The Centenary Test match played in 1977, Melbourne.
Bad luck. It's not the Centenary Test match. You picked up from the fact of the post-nuptial atmosphere of the day, but it's actually the 81 Test match at Edgbaston, because it was played right after the royal wedding between Charles and Lady Diana. So, you know, that's the way you could have got the year. It was obviously a post-nuptial match, and it was 1981. Bad luck there, Sarbajit, but that means, Danny, you have a chance to pick up 20 points if you get this right. High stakes for you here. Let's listen to this question very carefully. Which Australian batsman became Ian Botham's first Test wicket during the 1977 Ashes Test match at Nottingham?
Greg Chappell.
Your answer is?
Greg Chappell.
Greg Chappell, and that gets you 20 points. Brilliantly done, Danny. 20 points for you. You've chosen the right subject, you've challenged well, and you've got yourself 20 points. Well played here, Danny, and that's really serious out here. Gaurav, your choice next, and who do you want to choose, and what subject do you want to choose?
Famous dismissals for Jagdeep.
Sorry, famous?
Dismissals for Jagdeep.
So it's Gaurav is challenging Jagdeep on famous dismissals. Jagdeep, your question coming up first. In the 1999 Test match against Pakistan at Kolkata, Sachin Tendulkar was run out after colliding with Joy Bhattacharjya. His bat had been grounded, but due to the collision, his bat had lifted at the time the bails were removed. Which Pakistani spinner effected the run out by throwing down the stumps?
Nadeem Khan.
Well answered. Nadeem Khan is correct. And Gaurav, now a bit of pressure on you, because if you don't answer this, Jagdeep gets himself 20 points. Your question. The Railways captain for the 2013-14 season has been involved in a certain controversial mode of dismissal twice. Once running out Alex Barrow for Surrey versus Somerset, and then running out Sandeepan Das of Bengal in the same fashion while playing for Railways. What form of dismissal is being talked about, and who's the bowler? I think one leads to the other.
Murli Kartik Mankading.
That's a correct answer, and that means honors even on this channel. Both Gaurav and Jagdeep end up with 10 points each, and now it's your choice, Jagdeep. Your option, your subject, and who do you want to challenge?
I'll take VVS versus Australia, and I'll take Venkatesh.
Venkatesh on VVS versus Australia. VVS versus Australia for Indians is a sort of mythical series, and let's see what we have for you, Venkatesh. I hope you get a good one out here, and let's see how this one goes. Venkatesh, your question coming up. VVS Lakshman's second double century fittingly also came against Australia. This test match was also the final test match of an Indian cricketing great. Which cricketing great? VVS Lakshman's second test double century. Anil Kumble, 10 points for you, Jagdeep, and that means that you have to answer this to deny Venkatesh 20 points. Coming up for you, Jagdeep, your question. VVS Lakshman's first one-day international century came against Australia at the Nehru Stadium. Name the city.
Pune.
Not Pune, and I know there are lots of Nehru stadiums all over our country. This one happens to be in Margao in Goa, and that just means, Venkatesh, you've got yourself back in contention with a very, very important 20 points. So just two subjects to go. There's Sarbajit and Venkatesh to go, and first up it's Sarbajit. Who do you want to challenge and on what subject?
I would like to challenge on fourth innings miracles to Gaurav.
Fourth innings miracles to Gaurav. Sarbajit to Gaurav on fourth innings miracles. And Gaurav, first up coming for you. And let's have a look at what we have for you. Just hold on. On fourth innings miracles for 10 points. Which cricketer, the first from the tiny island of Anguilla to play Test cricket, played a crucial hand in West Indies' record-breaking chase of 418 against Australia? He got an unbeaten 47. Tiny island of Anguilla. Which cricketer?
I think it's Wasbird Drakes.
Bad luck, it's not Wasbird Drakes. This is actually Umari Banks. Bad luck there, Gaurav. But that means that, Sarbajit, you have a chance to pick up 20 points if you get this right. Gordon Greenwich scored a brilliant 214 to guide West Indies to a successful chase of 344 for the loss of one solitary wicket. Which batsman played a vital role in the run chase with an unbeaten 92 at the other end?
Unbeaten? Can you repeat? Unbeaten? Unbeaten how much?
92.
Hillary Gomes.
Sorry?
Hillary Gomes?
Yes, it is Larry Gomes or Hillary Gomes. Perfect. You've got yourself 20 points, and those are really vital points out here. Venkatesh, can you get yourself another 20 points? That's a question coming up here because you've got to challenge Danny. What subject would you choose?
Cricket at the games.
Cricket at the games is what you've chosen. And Danny, your question coming up for 10 points. Which test-playing nation surprisingly had to be content with only a bronze medal at the 2010 Asian Games men's cricket tournament in China? Who got the bronze in the 2010 Asian Games men's tournament in China?
India.
It isn't India, it's actually Pakistan. Bad luck, but Venkatesh, this is good news for you. You could get yourself 20 points if you answer this correctly. Which future international coach picked up a haul of 3 for 14 for Australia in the 1998 Commonwealth Games cricket final? Future international coach, 1998, 3 for 14. Venkatesh, big one here, worth 20 points.
Darren Lehman.
20 points for you, Venkatesh. Absolutely brilliant answer, and that means you're right back in contention. I think the scores have gone really topsy-turvy in this round. Let's take one look at them. So it's been a really, really good round of CricIQ. This third round, Take the Challenge, has been really good for some of the players. Jagdeep is right now on 20, but still in contention. On 40, we have Gaurav Sundararaman, but somebody who's roared back into contention. Venkatesh Srinivasan, who had the single point before this round, is now on 40. And right now, leading at this stage are Danny Bhandari and Sarbajit Mitra with a slender lead of 10 points. They're both on 50. Please remember that two of them go through, so there's going to be a lot of tactical battles going to be fought out here. Everyone in contention and lots to play for. That place, that ticket is still waiting for you at Lord's as we go into our final round of CricIQ. And so a final round, and you're all familiar with it, it's called Know Your Game. Each participant is asked questions on a subject of their choice chosen from grid. 60 seconds to answer as many questions as they can, a maximum of 10 questions, 5 points each, and there are 50 points potentially at stake. And the first choice out here goes to the people who are leading at this point in time. So, Danny, your choice in the grid, your subject's coming up. Interesting subjects: IPL 2009, cricketing biographies, ICC World Cup 2009, life and times of Garfield Sobers, Vivian Richards, India versus New Zealand, cricket grounds of South Africa, Asia Cup 2014, and Sahara Cup. Lots of choices, interesting choices. What would you like, Danny?
I'll take Life and Times of Sir Vivian Richards.
Life and Times of Sir Vivian Richards, which is one of my favorite cricketers as well. Good choice out there. And we'll get you right here, right now. Danny, your set on the life and times of Vivian Richards starts now. Who was the captain of India when Vivian Richards made his test debut at Bangalore?
Wadekar.
Incorrect. Apart from Somerset, which county did Sir Vivian Richards represent in English cricket?
Glamorgan.
Correct. During his spell as West Indian captain, how many Test series did Vivian Richards lose?
He lost 0.
Correct. In which year did Sir Vivian Richards score a record 1710 runs in a calendar year?
1976.
Correct. In which World Cup final did Sir Vivian Richards effect 3 run-outs?
1975.
Correct. With which batsman did Vivian Richards share a partnership of 139 runs in the 79 World Cup?
Hollis King.
Correct. Against which side did Vivian Richards score his highest bowling figures of 6 for 41?
New Zealand.
Sorry?
New Zealand.
I'll take the next one. At which venue did Vivian Richards started, so I'll finish, record his highest test score?
The Oval. And my previous answer was New Zealand.
Correct. New Zealand, unfortunately, is not correct. So I'll give you the answers that you got wrong. The only two that you got wrong was the captain of India when Vivian Richards made his test debut was Mansoor Ali Khan Pataudi. India at that time was alternating between Wadekar and Pataudi in every series. So that one you got wrong. And 6 for 41 was against India. Otherwise, a terrific set out there, Danny. Really well done, and I can make out that you're really a big fan of the man. Well done, Danny. We are up to you, Sarbajit, now for your choices. And Danny has done reasonably well for himself. What do you want to choose?
Sahara Cup 96 to 98.
Trust a Bengali to choose the Sahara Cup. It has very fond memories for most Bengalis for obvious reasons. And Sarbajit Mitra, your set on the Sahara Cup 1996 to 98 starts now. The venue of the Sahara Cup was the Toronto Cricket Club. Fill in the blank name of two sports.
Curling and ice skating.
Skating and curling, correct. In 1997, which cricketer won 4 consecutive Man of the Match awards in the Sahara Cup?
Saurabh
Correct.
Ganguly.
Who was the Man of the Match in the inaugural match of the Sahara Cup in 1996?
Ajay Jadeja.
Incorrect. Who was the first captain to lift the Sahara Cup trophy?
Wasim Akram.
Correct. In the 97 Sahara Cup, which Pakistani batsman got into a fight with a member of the crowd named Shiv Kumar? Correct. Who was the player of the series in the first edition of the Sahara Cup?
Saklan Mustaq.
Incorrect. Who was the only Indian player apart from Saurabh Ganguly to win a Man of the Match in the 1997 Sahara Cup?
Ajay Jadeja.
Correct. Due to his participation in which tournament did Sachin Tendulkar miss a large part of the 1998 Sahara Cup?
Can you repeat, please?
Due to his participation in which tournament? I've started, so I'll finish. I'll accept that. I'll accept that it is the Commonwealth Games, and the one you got wrong out here was the Man of the Match in the inaugural match of the Sahara Cup in 96 was Sachin Tendulkar. I think all the others you got correctly. Good set for you, Sarbajit, and I think you've done some serious scoring out here. Puts a bit of pressure on the other people. But Gaurav, still lots to play, lots at stake. What are you going to choose?
I'll go for IPL 2009.
IPL 2009, that's a tournament that, being from the Kolkata Knight Riders is not a tournament I'd like to remember very well, but it's something that's fairly recent and should be really interesting. Yeah, I'm coming up with your set now. Okay. Gaurav, your set on the 2009 IPL starts now. Who calls the Deccan Chargers to the IPL 2009 title?
Who?
Who calls the Deccan Chargers?
Darren Lehman.
Correct. Which team was dismissed for a total of just 58 runs against RCB in 2009?
Rajasthan Royals.
Correct. Which Indian spinner had bowling figures of 5 wickets for 5 runs in 3.1 overs in a match against the Royals? Correct. Who scored the fastest half century of IPL 2009?
Pass. Next.
Pass. In 2009, 3 hat-tricks were recorded. Yuvraj did it twice. Who was the other bowler?
Rohit Sharma.
Correct. Who won the orange cap for highest score in 2009?
Matthew Hayden.
Correct. Which bowler won the purple cap in IPL 2009? Correct. Which team won the Fair Play Award in IPL 2009?
Chennai Super Kings.
Incorrect. Who was the only Indian player to score a century in IPL 2009?
Anish Pandey.
Correct. Which was the only team in IPL 2009 to score over 200 runs in a match? I'll take that if you answer.
Delhi Daredevils.
Incorrect. It was Rajasthan Royals who scored 211 for 4 versus Kings 11 Punjab. So the ones you got wrong were that one and the Fair Play Trophy in 2009 went to Kings 11 Punjab. The fastest half century of IPL 2009, and obviously this was just beaten recently by Yusuf Pathan, was Adam Gilchrist's amazing knock in the semi-finals. Bad luck there, but I still think you've done brilliantly out here. Is it enough? You're going to find out in a bit. But right now we move straight on to you, Venkatesh, and what is your choice of subject?
Cricketing biographies.
Cricketing biographies. That's a good one. One of the best quizzes in the country. I'm sure you'll do well with this one. And Venkatesh, your set on cricketing biographies and autobiographies starts now. Coming Back to Me is the best-selling autobiography of which cricketer?
Really?
Incorrect. The Breaks Are Off is the autobiography of which bowler?
Holding?
Sorry?
Holding?
Incorrect. 19 for 90 is a biography of which cricketer?
Jim Laker.
Correct. Whose autobiography is titled White Lightning?
Alan Donald.
Correct. Out of the Park is which New Zealand cricketer's autobiography?
Lanskins.
Incorrect. Uncorked is the autobiography of which English cricketer?
Dominic Clark.
Correct. Hands and Heels is whose autobiography?
Hands and Heels. Pass. I'll come back.
Close to Cricket is written by which famous cricketer?
Brian Close.
Correct. Easy one. Sunny Days is whose autobiography?
Sunil Gavaskar.
Sunil Gavaskar. Take that. So just a couple of misses out here. Out of the Park is Craig McMillan's autobiography, and The Breaks Are Off is the autobiography of Graham Swan. Coming Back to Me is the autobiography of Marcus Trescothick. Actually, recent book and really well written. If you ever have a chance, please pick it up. Okay, brilliant set out there, Venkatesh. I think you've done pretty well for yourself. Is it enough? We'll find out in a bit. But right now we have Jagdeep, who's playing a lot for pride. And Jagdeep, what are you going to choose?
I'll choose the Garfield Sobers.
Sir Garfield Sobers. I'm so glad that a lot of the boys are picking up subjects which are not just about today and classic subjects as we so call them. Your set, Jagdeep, on the life and times of Sir Garfield Sobers starts now. Which team did Sir Garfield Sobers represent in Australian domestic cricket?
South Australia.
Correct. Under which captain did Sir Garfield Sobers make his test debut?
Frank Worrell.
Incorrect. How many runs did Sir Garfield Sobers score in his only one-day international match?
0.
Correct. Against which side did Sir Garfield Sobers hit 6 sixes in a single over?
Glamorgan.
Correct. At which test ground did Garfield Sobers play his final test match?
At the Oval.
I need a more specific answer.
The Oval in England, London.
No, it's not the Oval in London. Whose record did Sir Garfield Sobers beat when he set the record for the highest individual score in a test match innings?
Len Hutton.
Correct. At which ground did Sir Garfield Sobers take his best bowling figures of 6 for 73 in a test match?
Barbados.
Australian ground, I said, so if you want to try again.
It's MCG.
It's not the MCG, bad luck there. So the Australian ground was the Gabba in Brisbane. The ground in which Sir Garfield Sobers played his last match, it is the Oval, but it's a Queen's Park Oval in Trinidad, not the Oval in London. And the West Indian captain under which Sir Garfield Sobers made his test debut was Jeff Stallmeyer. Tough set there, but you've done fairly creditably, Jagdeep. Congratulations. And at the end of 5 fantastic rounds of quizzing, let's see what happened. Jagdeep ended up with a very, very creditable 40. Well done there, Jagdeep. On 65 points, Venkatesh Srinivasan, who started with almost 0 and then blitzed his way, had a really, really good run to reach 65. On 75, we have Gaurav Sundararaman, and that was heartbreakingly close because the two people who have qualified for this round, on 80 points, are PhD student from Kolkata, Sarbajit Mitra, and he's joined by all the way from Sydney, Danny Bhandari. So Danny Bhandari and Sarbajit Mitra have booked a place in the finals of CricIQ and are still playing for that really big prize. That seat to a test match at Lord's. And for the rest of you, brilliantly played, and you have 15,000 rupees worth of Flipkart coupons to console yourselves. Really well done. It's been another amazing episode of CricIQ. Congratulations. See you for the next one. The next semi-finals happening tomorrow.